My fans are like wanting to know what's going on here. Omar.
Inquiring into minds.
No,
Need to know.
I have a fan club. I don't know.
Really?
We're live.
There's the picture. Oh yeah, we're live. Okay.
Yeah, we're live again. This is the Nadi.
Okay, I don't see it though on YouTube.
It'll come up any
Okay.
second. There's a delay.
Okay.
So we have a new
go.
co-host, Stephanie Nofar. Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys.
Hello,
It's
Stephanie.
exciting to be here.
Welcome. As we toss you into the fire.
I don't know if I should be excited or scared.
No, you should. Well, I'm excited. Now I'm not the only girl on the show.
Well, Omar can't see you, so you can punch him and run, and he'll never know.
That's
No,
not
no.
nice. Would you ever take advantage of a blind person like that?
No, I wouldn't.
Why not? Oh,
I would.
didn't Rafa walk you into the women's bathroom one time?
Oh my gosh.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Really?
Why do I have to remind you of these things? It wasn't traumatic enough for you?
Oh man.
That's terrible.
Why? Well, you got to have a little sense of humor, you know?
What do you mean? One
Just
time,
FYI, it's not on YouTube yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
he had me standing next to a skeleton. He told me it was a real person. And he took a picture of it.
Oh my
It
god.
was at Buddy's Pizza.
Did he walk you into the transgender bathroom at Target?
Oh god.
Do they have them yet?
No.
Yeah, I think they
Oh,
got
yeah,
him,
that's
don't
right.
they?
No, they
They don't
are.
have
No, they're not
transgender bathrooms. They
transgenders.
just allow you to go to whatever bathroom that you
Yeah,
identify with.
Yeah. So basically, it's a transgender bathroom.
Wow. Can you imagine a transgender blind person? That's like
That'd be
double
very
trouble.
Yeah, so they don't even know where they are?
Yeah.
They can't see? So they're
Don't
not
know where they
sure?
are or who they are. Or
Just
what they
wear
are.
a shirt with a question mark on it?
All the three W's are going.
At Starbucks, the bathrooms are they have the girl and the little.
Well, it's only
female
like
with
one
the sperm.
stall. The one stall bathrooms are always unisex for the most part.
No, do they always have two?
How do we shit?
No, they have separate ones. Like, I was at,
I don't see it. on
shockingly,
YouTube, but I
liberal
see it on,
Starbucks had a bathroom for men and women separate single stall.
No, but now
Really?
they have the both
Yeah, but like
pictures on there.
the split body thing.
Yeah,
on there,
I don't like that. I don't want to go to the bathroom after a guy went in there. I mean, even though they're private stalls, that's so gross.
Yeah, we're so
you
much
guys
cleaner.
like pee on the seats and stuff.
Ew.
Yes.
No, I
ew.
gotta say, believe it or not, that I don't know. It's pretty close who's filthier.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some dirty women.
Actually,
bathrooms.
what the
Have you
most
seen girls'
disgusting thing
bathrooms? They're not that great.
is that so many guys
heard
go to the
that.
bathroom and don't wash their hands afterwards.
Is it?
It's like I was at Costco and I went into the bathroom and this people walking out without washing their hands. I'm
Oh,
like,
there
are
it
you
is.
guys freaking nasty or what, dude?
Oh, Harrison's
Did they
watching.
work there?
We miss you, Harrison.
What's up, Harrison? Whenever you're ready to rejoin, we're here, bro.
Yeah, he started law school, so he couldn't really commit.
We miss
But
him.
I actually was chatting with him yesterday. Harrison, how you doing, buddy? So we got some interesting things to talk about, like usual. You know,
That's what we're here for, right?
Exactly. That's why they call it the Nadi. They did an article on the show in the Chaldean News last month, and I said the only thing missing right now are the tikka and the kari and rice, and I'll probably add those at some point down the road. You know.
Well, I brought some
We
chai.
can.
Yeah,
You
same
brought
here.
some chai?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
some
yeah.
too.
Oh, thanks for sharing.
You got it. Oh, it's only an extra large.
Want to pour in your hand?
I was originally supposed to be the Chai and Meza girl.
Yeah, what happened? You changed roles?
No, I told you guys.
Change gender?
You no.
Oh, God.
Okay, Junior's
You handed-
demanding an
You
introduction.
handed me a microphone. That's what happened, and then
Junior is
The
demanding
rest-
an introduction.
Yeah, for
What kind of introduction? Like for who?
so Stephanie, introduce yourself up here. Mark got a haircut. Mark, did you get a haircut? Junior says no.
Yeah, I
You
did.
did? Oh,
Man, you got good eyes, bro.
yeah.
That is
Better
really
than
nice.
Omar's.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that was a bad one. Stephanie, give us your background.
Give me my background. My name is Stephanie Nofar. I am a mental health therapist. I have a private practice in Sterling Heights called Hope and Counseling. I don't know. I was a director of a high school girls retreat for the Chaldean Church. I now have retired from that after 12 years. Things like that. That's
High
my
school
background.
Chaldean retreat. So they just like stand around in a circle and criticize
And
each
pray.
other. I'm just
No.
joking. Just kidding. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah, seriously. It takes a lot of work, let me tell you.
So Stephanie,
I have a client for you, Steph.
I have no, seriously, I have a question. Now that you're a co-host on this show, do we all get like free therapy? Because I know at least one or two of us who needs it.
Speak for yourself.
I don't know. I'll see. Maybe I can give you guys a discount, but I don't know about free. Times are tough. Do
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
you guys have insurance?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah.
There we go.
I have insurance and a lot of mental health problems.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're good.
Don't we all?
Because
Yeah,
you pay for the
seriously.
insurance, right?
Yeah.
All of us
When you
do.
saw your deductible, you started having mental health problems.
Oh my gosh. If you guys only knew how much insurance companies owe me, it's sickening. Seriously, I could buy a house.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
whatever.
Omar, so what are we talking about tonight, man?
Got all kinds of stuff. So there was interesting. Last week there was at we want to talk about Sheikhanas, and what kind of prompted us to do this is last week there was a raid. People were spreading all kinds of rumors, from this being an ICE raid to this being somebody snitching or whatever it is.
Which really, people should really be careful about saying there's an ICE raid anywhere, because that's really traumatic for people.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Definitely.
I mean, some people just got released.
What about getting snitched at the Nadi? That's pretty. That's
pretty
pretty
traumatic,
traumatic.
too.
Yeah, I'd be upset.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to know what happened to everyone's money that was playing.
Yeah.
Supposedly it got confiscated.
Do you think our Nadi is going to get raided here?
Yeah, I don't want our Nadi to get.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Omar, put away the dice, bro.
I hope not.
So the whole thing is, should these places be allowed to have gambling? Should they not? And again, the whole thing was spreading rumors about this being an ICE raid or whatnot. ICE wasn't even involved.
Not at all.
I mean, I talked to a couple people yesterday who actually talked to some of the people that were there, and to the owners of the hall. This had nothing to do with ICE. It was just it was a raid because of who knows, maybe somebody said something or whatever, but there was gambling there and it got raided. That's what happened.
The thing is that it's illegal to gamble with money at certain places.
Is it?
Other than, yeah, it's
Mhm. Yeah, of course, gambling's
that's why
illegal.
they got raided.
Well, the old
Which-
school
You
You
Cheikhana's
have to
too.
have a
Remember
gambling license.
all the gambling used to go on in those places?
The one at 7 Mile?
Where?
Yeah, all the Cheikhana's, like on 7 Mile and
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I think is
Back in the
absolutely
80s and
ridiculous.
90s.
Yeah,
That is
before-
illegal.
Remember the stag parties? They used to have stag parties, gambling, and
They still have stag parties once in a while. You don't see them.
but I remember seeing people get arrested at stag parties, and they'd show them on the news, like Channel 7. They'd arrest them and party walk
No
them out.
way.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous that these people get raided. And I mean, yes, I understand it's illegal. Let's not.
The
get
libertarian in you coming out. All right, go ahead.
No, it is. It's going to. I mean, you
Where's
have a
Matthew?
group of,
Get on the line.
No, you have a group of people sitting around doing what they want to do with their money. Okay, they're not harming anybody. They're not doing anything.
But they can do that at their house.
Right.
Get
but
your
it's
friends
still, well,
together
yeah, well,
and sit
it's
down and
still
talk.
illegal in
Eva
your
says it was
home.
a snitch.
Okay, even
Snitch.
if you did that in
What
your
is it?
home, it's illegal. It's illegal.
Eva Shema
You
says
can't-
it was a
Not,
snitch.
not if you're
They got him.
if you're not using it as a business. It's not illegal to gamble
Well,
at your house.
Bellagio isn't. They're not using the Bellagio specifically as a place to gamble. It's
they are.
They rent a room and so they or
Yeah,
whatever.
but one individual person isn't renting a room and then they're gambling in there. They have it open for gambling at a certain time on a certain day.
Okay, but are they making money off of that?
I'm sure they are.
Oh, Steve, you're being summoned by Marvin.
They're not.
Oh.
They don't. For the most part of most Sheikhanas, they don't charge you a fee.
Okay.
I mean, they don't charge you a percent of what you're playing with. They just charge you a
Fee
to sit down at the table.
Okay, so what?
And some other places don't even charge you a fee. They just charge you for food.
But
Okay.
Just so they stay busy.
at the end of the day, it's illegal. Why do we have to do things that are illegal?
I don't disagree with what
Yeah.
you're saying, but I think it's ridiculous that it is illegal and
Yeah.
that people are going to be that people have to go through the legal system because they decided to go somewhere and play cards or dice or whatever it is and they were using their own money. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. That's my stance on it.
Here's the thing. Can places like that acquire a gambling license, or are they restricted specifically?
No,
to
you can't get a
casinos?
gambling
Probably
license. Listen,
not.
I mean, you know what though, Helen, I do agree with you. When you listen, I agree with one thing. Gambling is illegal, but when you look in the grand scheme of things, like why do the casinos have a license and stuff and all this? Why? People get paid off. Let's face it. You know how it works. This guy pays off that guy. Why was the guy blocked who was trying to open a casino in Romulus? because the Illiches and whoever didn't want them to have a casino. So guess what? They have all their lobbyists at the state blocking these other casinos from going up.
ridiculous.
And then they say, oh, well, you know, technically, you know what? It's kind of like lottery, right? Everyone should just be able to do whatever because, I don't know. I kind of agree with that. I hate to say it. Guys are sitting around, old men, right? They're having a good time. They're playing cards or whatever. They're an adult. If they want to lose their money playing tubby or whatever, that's on
Yep.
them, man. It's not on me to regulate them. You know, I mean...
I think it's funny that online everyone's mostly worried about the whole snitching part.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
this.
snitch. It's like a jail thing or something.
Yeah,
Hey, it's a
seriously.
snitch, bro.
And I like how someone else put Shenandoah out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Wait,
Like, let's not get anyone else into trouble.
but that's the thing. I don't understand. And then if someone did snitch, shame on them. Honestly, if
I
they're-
mean-
shame on them. Why
what are they getting out of it
Yeah,
even?
what do
You
you
know?
get out of it? Like, yeah, it's a group of men
Yeah,
who are
yeah.
sitting around. They're not harming anybody. They're not doing anything bad or wrong. They want to sit and play cards or dice or whatever it is that they play. It's their
If that's
money.
the case, the cops need to bust every Chaldean household on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, right.
Christmas Eve, warehouse, Thanksgiving.
I feel like people snitch
Easter.
on everything. Like it's kind of out of control. Like I remember seeing like like a seamstress that I had that like all of a sudden had to move all of her stuff to like a laundromat because someone snitched on her for doing it in her house.
Yeah,
And
or
I'm
like people
really?
snitch on people making tachrath at home.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Yeah, it's selling
is it
them.
that
It's like,
serious?
serious, man?
Seriously?
Yeah, that really happened. Like people,
Anyone get in trouble for that?
yeah, they get in trouble because you're running business from your house.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, what
Yeah.
a crazy, vile business to be selling tachrath at other people.
Terrible.
You know?
Seriously.
This is like public enemy number
terrible.
one we're
Some
talking
people have
about
lost
here.
like their public, like the housing funding because of it, because someone snitched on them trying to make money from their house. It's crazy.
Wow.
To share the link, everyone share the link on Facebook.
It must be.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
should
I
call
want
it
to remind everybody to please
Crawford
share.
Wars.
yeah.
Should we share the
Just saying.
YouTube link too?
The Crawford Wars of the
Please
East
share
Side.
the link, the Facebook link and the YouTube links,
Some
both.
people just have too
I'm gonna
much
share the
money.
YouTube link.
Everyone say to share the link.
I'm gonna
Everyone
try.
ask the audience to share the link.
Since you're on a roll with sharing, why don't you share your thoughts with us? Rick?
Ronnie Kanai has a good point. He says they're just avoiding paying taxes on the winnings. You know, government wants its money.
Yeah, well, of
Yep, like
course.
that
That's
bumper sticker,
why.
right? Don't steal. The government hates competition. Well, there you go.
Steve, how do you feel about all this?
Steve, you haven't spoken. I'm really starting to feel uncomfortable. I feel like you're going to pull a gun or knife on us right now.
Poor guy's working really hard.
Steve, are you not working right now with a girl overseas
Yes.
that doesn't speak English?
Yes. Bahija.
Bahija.
Steve, what do you think?
Steve, what do you think?
About what?
About the
About this whole
Chekhanas.
Chekhanas, man. You
What do
haven't
you
heard what we're
think
talking
about-
about?
He doesn't
What do
like
you
this
think about
topic. He's
Chekh-
not gonna talk.
Hold on, but what do you think about Chekhanas, Steve?
Wonderful place to get away and have a good family time.
Oh, but hold on a second. Hold on a second. But it's illegal. How could you do something like that, Steve?
Well, sometimes you got to go against the grain.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
So was there ice there or was there not
No,
ice there?
it had
Yeah, they
nothing
did.
to
There was
do.
in
No,
the
it
pop.
hasn't to
It
do
was
with
in the
ice.
pop machines and the refrigerators and the freezers.
No, it had nothing to do with immigration whatsoever.
No,
Nothing.
absolutely nothing.
So was it like I think maybe ice was there, this is the problem, and then it's spread out as a rumor?
And then you hear now, Shmelach Mabrele,
Yeah.
Tel Al Bellagio, 150 Kimshaklila immigrant.
I have a question. Has Bellagio's business gone up or down since this happened?
Yeah, it's free advertising, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it
to
just
get
happened.
advertising.
Hold on a second. Isn't Bellagio like a banquet hall?
Yeah.
So it's not like, or it's not a restaurant where you can go have dinner.
No, I don't
Are
think
they
so.
open, like-
I don't know.
I don't know if they actually serve lunch like the way Shenandoah might or
Okay,
whatever.
so it's more of a banquet hall.
yeah,
that
it's
you
a
get-
banquet
okay.
hall, but
Okay.
who knows? I mean, they might serve.
There's a
lunch.
couple restaurants here
Well, I heard-
locally in West Bloomfield where they play cards too. I'm not gonna give you the name. I ain't no snitch.
Yeah, Mark, leave these people be. They're not bothering.
No, let them have their
anybody.
fun. I told you, I don't care.
know.
What does it bother me? If you want to go lose your money, you're an adult. It's no different than going to the casino, except it's a more comfortable environment.
I'm
environment.
turn
Why is
you
and you're
video
losing money to a
low?
friend, damn
I'm
it.
going to turn you into a social libertarian yet, Mark. It's going to happen.
I don't even know what that is, so I guess I could be one.
Omar, I
Yeah.
heard there's a door, like a secret door by the Bellagio. That's where everyone was going for the Cheikhana there. There's like a little side door.
Oh, is there?
Is there? They have like
Was there-
the club, the Nadi.
Yeah, hold on. But did they have like a secret code? Like
Yeah, knock 3 times and
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Kubepta and they let you in.
that'd be cool. I want to know.
You have to look Chaldean, speak a little bit of Chaldean and a little bit of Sudeth, and then they'll let you right in.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, anyone can get in, I think.
I mean, I think that it's illegal, so I feel like we should try to avoid things that are illegal because we've now known how that affects our community when people are doing illegal things and then later ICE does show up.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know, we're seeing the consequences of us doing illegal things and thinking that we're, you know, kind of above the law.
Invincible.
Yeah, and we're not. We just saw that. How many of our community members were locked up for 7 months? That's a long, long time.
Yep.
You know, and some of them didn't get out, and they're still there. They're still going to keep fighting this. So really, I just feel like as a community, we should kind of be a little more aware of these things and try to avoid them as best as we can.
I mean, are we really going to avoid them, though? I mean, if our community wants to do illegal things, they're going to do illegal things.
Yeah. This
That's the way it's always been, and that's
And
the
I
way
hate-
it's always
It's
going to
stupid
be.
to be illegal, but it is illegal.
Because you de la.
Yeah. Basically.
No, I mean honestly, I don't really care if somebody's gambling on their own. I mean,
I think it's
again,
It's
stupid.
not like alcohol or drugs or none of that, you know, where you're endangering
People's lives.
somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not cruising home.
Well,
Like
you
I
know
said,
what,
I think
though,
it's
Omar?
stupid
You might
that
be a
it
little
is
mad
illegal,
because you
but it
lost,
is.
you know.
Well, you know what, Omar? I will disagree and say it is a little bit like drugs and alcohol.
absolutely. Gambling
Because think about what happens if someone loses everything or a lot,
They
or
go
these people
AWOL?
that have.
But the casino
course.
does that, and that's legal.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
What's the
that's like,
difference?
why is it illegal for the casino
Right.
to take your money, but they're afraid, you know, oh, you can't have some type of outside gambling? Come to the friendly environment of Motor City Casino.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all about making money for the government. We all know that.
It's all about
That's why it's
regulation,
illegal.
man. If it's
Yeah.
regulated, they get happy because they get their share.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what it comes down to.
So can you gamble in an Indian reservation if you had like a Cheikhana there?
Yeah, you could. You could.
If we have a Cheikhana, does it have to be owned by a Native American?
Well, if you are on a reservation, hold on, let's think about this. Okay, so if you're on a reservation and let's say they have a banquet hall there and you're like, hey, can we like borrow your banquet hall because we want to play cards?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, if you
Right?
do that, yeah.
Okay.
And so then you can do it.
248.
Yeah, I mean,
What happened in the days when we were all one area code?
Yeah, right.
313.
Yeah, 313.
313, and then 810 was
810.
after. Justin, you're too young to remember this
They
stuff.
did a huge push for 810. Everyone remembers.
That's it. In this case, the 586ers, man.
Well,
Eastsiders.
You guys remember 217 or 219? What was it?
Where, here?
That was
Where?
like a quick stint they had real quick,
You
right?
remember that, eh?
Well,
No,
810.
I know. Yeah, it was 313 across the board, and then 810 came, and then 248, and then the east side 586.
And 619, right?
619 San
San
Diego, man.
Diego.
Oh, my bad.
616 is like Grand Rapids.
Grand
517,
Rapids, yeah. 989 is what,
517
Bad
is Lansing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, 989
Nice,
is
Bad Axe, I think, or
Owasso.
wherever, yeah.
I remember one time I was riding a smart bus to get to work, and I ran into this
You
lady.
used to, but Omar, remember you used to take the short bus to school too. Remember the short bus?
No, I said I I used to take the
It's a
smart
joke,
bus
Steve.
to work when we lived on 14 and Haggerty, and I was on the bus one day.
joke, Steve.
Can I talk?
Wow.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I was on the smart bus for the third time, and this lady was on there who used to drive me to work when I used to work in. I had a job for about 5 months in Westland, I believe it was, if I remember. This was like back in 05. So this chick was on there, and she's saying hello and this and that. She's like, so can I get your number? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to give her my number. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, 248-586-1313.
Oh my gosh.
Wah, wah, wah.
What if she tried to call you right there on the spot? What would you have said?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what I would have said.
Don't you remember the song 8675309?
Jenny,
Right,
yeah.
that was great. Yeah, because you could always use that. Like if a guy asked you for your number, and you'd be like
A guy shouldn't
8675309.
ask him for his.
No, I maybe.
Thank
Just
you.
use the Chaldean
got
flow
you.
to mix them up. 8,
I don't-
6,
Yeah, right.
7, 5.
Omar, did you ever have a guy ask you for your number?
It's like when you ask for a social
Hell
security
to the
number.
no.
3, a 7, 7, 7.
Oh my gosh.
The Chaldean number flow, you know?
Steve, why are you quiet?
I told you he doesn't like this topic.
He's actually very excited right now because Mark Asmar just told him he has hoes in different area codes.
Oh,
Mark, have him call into the show. We need their opinion.
Oh man. No, we were talking about the whole Larry Nassar thing. That's what you guys want to talk about too. That's what some people in this room wanted to.
Yeah, that's you know what? That's a
heavy topic,
very broad. Besides disgusting topic, and whoever knows anything about what was going on for these last 27 years and has not spoken
Yeah, man.
needs to go to jail along with Larry Nassar.
I agree.
And really, this is a systemic. If you look at it, this is a systemic problem in every entertainment area, whether it's sports, whether it's the movies, whether it's music. And what does it all come down to is people are scared to talk because they're going to get blackballed in the industry they're in. Whether it was Penn State, Joe Paterno knew what was going on, and nobody, even the defense, other people on the coordinators knew what was going on, and they couldn't do it. They didn't say anything because everybody's scared to lose their job and not be able to get a job at another university. With this Larry Nassar thing, same thing with the Olympics and MSU. These scums all knew what was going on, and everybody's afraid to talk. They don't care about the life of a kid. They're just afraid to talk because, I'll never get another coaching job.
I wish that guy was a little more agile when he was running towards him to strangle him.
You know what annoyed me is the way they tackled him. The way they just jumped on him and tackled him. It's like
he should have ran up there like a wild lion instead of just tiptoeing there. He should have been like, "Arr!"
He looked like a very big guy.
Yeah, that's
He
what I'm
was
saying.
huge.
He looked like
You know?
a huge.
Huge.
the fact that he asked for like the 5
5
minutes
minutes.
with him.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, you can't blame the guy. Anyone in his position would,
Absolutely.
feel the same
the
exact
guy's
way.
lucky he's not dead yet. I don't know how one of these parents has not,
Yeah.
in 27 years, them knowing that what's gone on, that not one of these parents have gone after the guys.
That's what I wonder. I mean, how many victims? How many did they say? And upwards of
It's like
how,
200.
One girl
people.
killed.
years
One
ago.
girl killed herself,
Okay.
and one parent of one of the girls killed himself because he didn't believe his daughter was telling the truth, and when he found out it's true, he couldn't take that. He didn't believe her, and he ended up killing himself. I mean, what's gone on is amazing.
What's going to happen to
someone
him in
killed
jail?
themselves
Let's
directly
be real.
because of
Big,
what happened.
two
Yeah.
people. One girl committed suicide because of
That
the
we
abuse,
know of.
and the other one, like I said, the parent didn't believe the daughter, and he felt so bad when the truth came out that it was really happening that he killed himself. The parent.
you want to know what you know how you said, Mark, that these people felt like they couldn't. All these people knew, but they felt like they couldn't.
Yeah.
They could say something though. They chose not to.
No, but what happens? They put fear into you. All these organizations, these institutions, whether they're in the media, whether they're in look what happened to Monica Lewinsky. Let's say even though hers was consensual with Bill, right?
Yeah.
But what did the media? Who'd they go after? They go after
They
Bill.
went
No,
after her.
they annihilated her. Look at
Yeah.
Paula Jones living in a trailer park, got audited like 16 times because she
Yeah.
refused his advances. These women that are coming out now that, let's say, and then, I know there's some people that maybe it's not, like, I'm not talking about the Nassar case, but, like, let's say these other women coming out on people in the entertainment industry
Yeah.
on rape. Maybe some of them aren't real, but I bet you a lot of them are.
Yeah.
I'll give you a perfect situation, right? Example. Let's say when Bill O'Reilly was on Fox, right? He had, like, how many viewers did the guy have? 30 million or whatever
Yeah.
it was?
Yeah.
Something
The most.
insane, right? Let's just say your sister went to go work, started as an intern at Fox News. She walks in, Bill O'Reilly smacks her butt, makes some nasty remarks to her. She refuses his advances, and they fire her. She's just starting her career. She's already traumatized. She's scared to say something because those 30 million followers on social media are going to attack her like dogs and say she's trash. Because, oh no, the great Bill O'Reilly wrote Killing Jesus and Killing Lincoln and all this stuff. And she's going to be permanently blackballed in the industry. So, of course, they're scared to talk. But 10, 15 years, they're always traumatized. Then 10, 15 years down the line, when somebody's finally not afraid and they come out, then the fear, they're not getting threatened anymore. Somebody else has taken that spot, and they're not scared to come out and talk.
But
But
like you said, there was a father that didn't even believe his daughter. So
Yep.
a lot of these women also felt like, if my own family doesn't believe me, who's to say anyone else is going to believe me? So that's the problem too, is that a lot of times people around these women don't believe them. They think that they're being dramatic. They think they're trying to get attention. They're whatever it may be. And because all these people are coming out and accusing all these rich people of rape, all these celebrities, and it's not coming out to be true, then it also puts a bad stigma on that too.
But a lot of them are true.
Yes, a lot of them are.
What was the guy in the entertainment industry again? I forgot. Harvey Weinstein. You know it's true, the stuff that he did. There's so many people in the industry that have
Bill
done.
Cosby.
Cosby. You're going to get 50 women that have the same story, that he took me out and he put something in my drink and I don't remember anything and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's not coincidence that these things have happened, No,
definitely not.
In all these entertainment industries, there's so much cover up and people are afraid to talk. The Larry Nassar thing, I want to know what person thought it was okay for a doctor for the gymnast, a sport, right? You're supposed to, you have a pulled hamstring, whatever, is giving you a gynecology exam. What the hell is that? Who approves this? I just want to know what person was standing there in the room, and you have to have somebody in the room with you witnessing this.
Yes, you do, because I can tell you as a woman, if you are having an exam like that, and I have a female doctor,
always have someone
there's
else.
always a nurse in the room. She is never in the room by herself with me.
Male nurse or
Either
female
one,
nurse?
doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It has to be
matter.
a female in the room at all.
Why, you
No,
gonna go to
they're always
Now everything.
Why is Steve going to go to a
Doesn't
gyno?
matter, even if you have
No, I
a
was
female gynecologist.
thinking about going to nursing school.
Oh, so somebody else has to be there.
Yeah, it always.
But you guys, we're talking about this about Larry Nassar, but this is happening in our own community.
Wait a minute,
People are
talk
getting
about
sexually
snitching?
abused all the time, and no one's talking about
Mark
it.
Asmar. Steve took me out and put something in my drink.
What's the rest? What does it say?
21A.
No, 21 double A.
What does that mean?
What's that?
That's
Sorry,
that's a
Steph.
type of drink.
Yeah, sexual molestation in our communities
It's
is more
huge.
Yep.
Is it?
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys have
In our
no
community?
idea. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Who's
It
doing
happens
it?
a lot.
Where is it
Cousins,
happening?
uncles, brothers, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you can possibly think of. Seriously, I mean, it's happening. I see it in my own office. I see it through retreats and things. I see it all the time. And unfortunately, I've even contacted some of the priests, and they know it's there, but they can't get people to talk about it because no one wants to put their family down. No one wants that to come out. No one wants that person to then they have a bad rep, and then
Yeah, but see, here's the
crazy.
problem with that is if you do have these sexual offenders, then they will continue to do it and they'll get away with it.
Absolutely,
So
they are.
someone needs to speak up and say, okay, hey, this is wrong, and there's consequences to it. That's
But nobody
terrible.
wants to put their family on blast like that.
Stupid, right?
What happened?
Nobody wants to put their family
Junior's
on blast
talking
like that,
about
even if it is.
Kurdistan and what they used to do back home.
Well, Kurdistan.
He said since the barn up in Kurdistan, they enjoyed little boys back home, nasty old men.
Little boys. You know what I heard?
Is this real?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
You know what I heard? Up in the mountains and stuff, the men used to have sex with camels.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard that.
You could go on YouTube and watch that.
What?
Yeah.
Apparently, someone has looked that up.
Steve, what
Yeah.
impelled you to
It's on-
Google?
they put it on
I
World
was just
Star.
wondering.
He
While
was
I was eating my
being-
They put it on
Egg
World Star
McMuffin
and
and
Why
see
are
the
you-
craziest thing.
bestiality?
Indian man screws camel.
Dude,
oh, that's pretty
go
good.
to, go to World Star. Go to World Star and you see it all day long.
Enough of the bestiality.
Oh, that's all they do. They drink the pee,
No, but seriously,
They play with the
most of-
cows, they play with the-
new topic.
the
Same
camels,
topic, but-
everything. They
but
love them.
I want to.
Higher level.
I want to
And
talk about
goats,
something.
And
actually.
goats too.
I want to go back to Renee's.
Tremendous
Renee
bestiality
Hassano-
in the Middle East.
Renee Hassano left a really good comment.
Okay.
I want to mention it really quick. She said, "Complete BS. If you know something, you should go to the authorities in confidence. They don't have to reveal who told them. However, it will be more work for them to investigate on their own." Well, Renee, actually, what happened, I don't know if you guys heard, but what happened is the first person who went to report Larry Nasser, they interviewed her.
Nazareth? I think it's Nazareth.
Nasser.
Nasser.
Okay.
It wasn't
So go ahead.
Nazareth.
There was a lot. They
There
reported
was
a lot
Larry
of
of
times.
Nazareth.
Well, the first person
Huh?
that reported her, she went to Michigan State. She was sexually harassed by him years ago. And when she went to the authorities, they brushed it under.
Yeah.
Right? Did you guys see that?
Yep.
They brushed it under. They said that she went and talked with the police, and the police said, "Sorry, there's nothing more we can do." Until years later, they finally reopened the case when all this
All
was
this other
unfolding. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's very difficult. There are people that go to authorities,
Yeah.
is my
Yep.
point. There are
Yep.
people that go for help. But just like that father that killed himself, rest in peace to his soul, people don't want to believe.
A
these
lot
girls.
of,
Yeah.
you know what? You are 100% right. They said many of the gymnasts and many of the athletes at Michigan State went and put in complaints. And in fact, there's one that's very adamant, who's the one who broke this thing. She said, I am going to make sure everybody at Michigan State goes down because I went to so many people and got blocked at every single avenue that I went. Everybody blocked me and they ignored me and they made sure that nobody would listen to me. Look at the president of MSU. She talked about it for 10 minutes and then said, oh, like it's some little minor thing. Let's set that to the side and talk about teacher pensions. It's
He
like,
was
wait a
trying to
minute.
save his job.
Renee said she wasn't
It was
talking
a
about the
lady.
I know,
victim. She was
he.
talking about the staff, like people that knew that this was happening.
Oh, they're gonna lose their jobs, right?
Yeah, they're not
gonna
gonna
be
say
fired
nothing.
right away.
They're gonna get fired. They're
They
worried
have good
about their
paying
job.
salaries too. That's a good job at a good university. Why do I want to lose it?
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier.
right.
Oh, Renee says she wasn't talking about the victim. She was talking about the staff.
That's what she just
Well,
said.
they're not. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. The staff's not gonna do that. So the victims, and if let's say if I had a child and my child was a victim of that, I would make so much noise until somebody frickin' heard me. Because if I had a kid and someone laid as much as a finger on them, there's no way in hell that I'm just going to sit back and go, oh, no, yeah, it's okay. And no. I would make a shitload. That's why I don't understand all of these parents, if their kids went to them, how do they just say, okay, well, they went to the authorities or they went to whoever.
Oh, if I was one of these parents, I'd be like,
That's what
I'd
I'm
have
saying.
my hands around Nasser's throat. I
That's
don't care
what
what
I'm
anybody at
saying.
MSU tell me.
Right. So why weren't these parents making enough noise? I'm sure these kids, they
It's
had
Michigan
their...
State. The
And who
prestige.
gives a shit?
It has nothing to do with
You
Michigan
trust-
State. I
yeah,
think the
you
parents,
trust the guy-
Especially if they
guy
have
had
a
it
career in
right.
gymnastics,
I
if
think
they were
what-
making money, if they were going to the Olympics, they were... I mean, it's a huge thing.
Or guess what? You go to state and they're trying to discredit the kid. They're probably going, no, Larry's a
his word
upstanding
against them.
doctor,
Theirs.
world
One of the
renowned,
best.
Michigan
blah,
State.
blah, blah, blah.
But you make enough,
trained.
like I said, you make
Olympians.
enough noise.
Somebody's gotta listen.
Somebody's going to listen, and other people are going to start talking.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
happened
this guy was
takes-
a huge predator. I mean, this wasn't a once or twice. You're talking about
Sick.
hundreds.
Yep.
Right, hundreds. So more people would have felt like, you know what? Hey, if this person's coming out, maybe I can come out too. And then which is exactly what happened.
happens,
It took
yep.
one person to make enough noise to get all these other people to talk. So, I mean, that's what I mean, and unfortunately,
And imagine how many kids before he even
Right.
became that Olympic coach that this guy
Right.
has molested. I mean, this is something. Wait till when the final number is out. This guy
Thousands.
is going to be.
It's- yeah.
Thousands.
He's going to be the worst
Yeah,
what they said.
rapist in history.
That's what they said.
He'll be the absolute
Fuck him,
worst sexual
literally.
predator.
Asshole.
He'll
And you know what
get-
he's not going to get is because he's in a protective confinement and no one's going to be able to touch him and he's going to be sitting in a cell protected with
no.
other
Yeah,
idiots like
I
that.
don't think so.
Like what's his
Oh,
name
no,
from
they don't put him in
pedophiles?
jail.
I
general.
think someone's
They do
gonna
not put
pay
these-
a guard somewhere
happens,
to,
that happens.
to
You're-
quote
but-
unquote
but
leave
as
him
far
alone
as
for a
that-
minute.
I think so too.
I think so.
Jerry
I think so,
There's
too.
no way.
Like
the
Jerry
guards are going to
Sandusky.
be against him the whole.
Yeah.
All the guards are going to be
Absolutely.
against
No,
him too.
no. Let me tell you something. The guards are monitored. Okay, if they do something to him, it's going to be like on the DL. But he's not going to be sent to general population, and he's not going to get attacked, and no, he's not going to have like I don't know. If someone said, "Oh, he's going to get raped in jail," that's not going to happen. And unfortunately,
No, it's like Jerry Sandusky. They
He's
give him
not
special
Tupac.
protection. It's like
Unfortunately,
Junior's saying that why isn't Michigan State being punished? Oh, they're going to get punished.
Oh,
Trust
they're-
me.
oh, yeah.
They're about to get it. And
Didn't the president or somebody just turn in their
Resigned.
yeah,
the
turn in
president,
their
well, you know what they did? They resigned because
Yeah.
if they get fired, they
pension.
lose all their benefits.
Yeah,
but
right, so they resign,
They
yeah.
get
They
keep
$500,000
everything,
a year, tickets to every event. They get the
It's
big.
disgusting.
Yeah, they're like
And they
CEOs
knew,
of a
right.
corporation.
Long. Just like Harvey Weinstein. All
Yeah.
the shit that he did.
And he had it written into his contract that if he ever got fired for sexual harassment, Harvey Weinstein, that he gets full pay, full everything.
yeah, he went to
Wow,
he went to
that's
North
nice.
Farmington too. Mark said.
Who did?
Larry Nassar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
That's crazy. One of the saddest things about this story is how many other doctors or how many other people in power have actually gotten away and no one's actually spoke up.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's-
there's a ton, I'm sure.
I'm sure. And
Absolutely.
That's one of the saddest things about the story. So I guess speak
There's
up.
there's some doctors out
Speak-
here like that.
Speak with your.
Oh yeah.
There's some like, for instance, I'm not gonna say no names, but there's like this dermatologist out there,
Oh gosh.
Out here?
out here.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you go to this dermatologist, you say, "Oh, I got a little rash on my hand." He'll tell you to pull down your pants and let me see your privates.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
For what?
For older people and
For
younger
what?
people.
I don't
actually.
know. And women too. Let me see your breast. Oh, I got something's wrong with my hand. Let me see your breast first. You know, it's just.
And nobody's reported this guy?
I mean,
He's very credible.
and he's very good too.
He doesn't do that to everyone.
Oh, I
Give
can't
and
believe you
take,
said
right?
that too.
I mean, people are perverted, right? People
Yeah.
have their own little perversion to
Is
them.
that
What?
Is that what it takes for good service? You have to.
If I went in and I had like a rash on my hand, and I said, and the dermatologist said to me, "Well, I need to examine you someplace else," I'd be like, why?
Well,
I'd be like,
that's
here,
you.
examine this 45 in your
But
mouth,
unfortunately,
pal.
they're not going to go after you. They're going to go after someone more
But they'll pull down my
vulnerable, someone
pants, but
younger,
my acne
someone
going away.
not as like vocal. They're going to go after someone that's
something wrong
maybe
with my
old
toe.
or too young
Right.
or
Come up
you know,
with
in
the
just
pants.
a vulnerable situation. They're not going to choose you because
I'd
they
be
know
like, "Excuse me?"
exactly. That's why they wouldn't do that to you.
No, I would really. I'd be like, "Excuse me, you want to do what?"
Trust me, predators know who to prey on.
Yeah,
like
they
that's
do.
that's the whole
Yep.
point.
They can sense it.
Yeah, that's
They know who's weak
They'll-
and they know who's not approachable.
And they'll see the advances. If you didn't accept his first advance,
Yeah, they'll
he
start
probably won't
small
go.
and
Yeah,
go from there.
I'm sure that's what happens typically, right?
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. But it's out there.
Like I said, there's a much bigger picture here for the entertainment industry in general, whether in anything, sports, entertainment, whatever. People are scared to talk because they get blackballed in the industry that they're in
And then,
I don't-
then there's the
and vilified.
then there's the lying accusers.
Mm-hmm.
Where remember that one, the Chaldean ophthalmologist, I think it was.
Yeah.
On the
Oh,
east
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
And the lady said, "Oh, he was doing some
And then it turned out
procedure
not
and
to be
put
true.
put some drops in my, and then he took it out and put it on my face or something like that."
Yeah.
And he like lost everything.
Everything.
And it wasn't
He went to
true?
jail for
No.
3 years, too.
That's
No,
terrible.
he didn't go to jail.
He didn't?
No, that guy did not go to jail.
No, I'm pretty sure he did.
No.
Yeah, he did.
Here's
He
what
did.
I
Yeah,
want to
he
know.
did
Yeah,
for like
because I'm
3
pretty
years.
sure he countersued them for
Yeah.
him
Here's-
in jail.
He
Here's
went
what
to
I
jail for
wanna
like
know.
3 years.
Larry Nasser, when
Yeah.
he was examining
Yeah.
these girls, weren't the parents in the room?
So I
Yeah.
asked my husband this. So my
yeah.
husband's a doctor, and I was like, "How is this possible?" Apparently, this is what my husband told me, that there is a way to pop out your tailbone, like vaginally. There's a way to do that, but they recommend every school recommends you don't do that. Like that's like
Last
worst
resort.
case or like last resort. But that is a thing. That's the weird part. There
Actually-
is a way to do that. To like if you hurt your tailbone or whatever, there is a way to pop it out that way.
Okay.
But usually that's last resort.
Okay.
And again, you would do that very differently.
It's last
Yeah,
resort.
not
It's
to
by
mention they said he didn't use gloves or
Yeah.
anything
yeah.
else either.
Well, a couple things. It's last resort. I read this actually. I read like a whole article on this. It's last resort, and it's by a trained professional,
Yeah.
not just a doctor. And they go through all the other procedures
Yes.
first before they recommend
Exactly.
that.
Okay, so the parents are in the room.
Now with
But
the parents,
that's what I'm wondering. If there's an examination or whatever he's doing, so he says, okay, their tailbone's popped out. I'm going to need to pop it back in. Okay, I would be like, okay, if it's my kid, I think I might want to be there with them too if they're little.
a lot of
It's
them were though.
and they watched him do that.
Yeah. The problem was also that people just weren't talking and weren't saying that they felt uncomfortable. Someone could be doing a legitimate procedure on you, but if you feel uncomfortable, you should stop that person. Like if you're getting a pap smear and you feel uncomfortable, even though it's a pap smear
Yeah.
and you need it, you should still say
Yeah.
something. And I think that's what the problem is.
Well, you know what else? There was a girl that talked about when her mom was actually in the room,
Yeah.
but he would block the mother with his
Yeah.
body. Like he's like he's a pervert professional, guys. I mean, he
Yeah,
would block
obviously.
with his body, and he would
That's
be touching her
disgusting.
while his
That's-
body would be
that's-
blocking
yeah.
the mother.
Melody
Yeah.
just put the same thing. She said he used to block parents from seeing what he was doing.
I had
He
a
knew
really,
what he was doing.
So you know what they need to do with him in jail? Block,
Exactly.
block them from what Bubba's doing to him.
Exactly. I'm telling you.
I have a good friend, and I guess he was at his work. I think that's the way the story goes. But he was at his work, and one of his lady friends came to visit him. And, I don't know what happened, but the next day, he was being charged with rape. And he was just livid, and it went on for a long time until she finally admits she was lying, and it was just ridiculous.
But how,
Yeah.
how does that just happen?
It goes both ways. It goes both
crazy.
ways. You don't
I
know
think there's way
whether
more
someone's saying,
cases-
for instance, like Trump. You know, all these women are accusing him like 3 weeks before the election. It's ridiculous. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
So
with that.
and now this like porn star, and it's just when does it end? Like Stephanie could go tomorrow to the police and say Mark raped me after the show. What is Mark gonna do? Mark can't say no, it didn't happen if it was just him and her or no one's seen anything.
Yeah, it's your word against
It's such a screwed up situation right now that you don't know what.
Mark's
you know,
not a rapist.
Helen.
I was just got out of jail about 5 years ago.
It's the point, okay? I'm glad that you find this funny. You know,
Oh, we
it's a
got it.
serious issue.
Steve,
Okay.
relax.
Steve,
All
you know
right.
what though? Listen, I agree with you. There's probably a lot of fake things, but I will say I think there's a lot. If you're gonna weigh how many people that come out of the woodwork that lie about these, as compared to how many it actually happened to that are scared to talk, it's probably 20
But
to 1.
that's
Well,
why
here,
they're
let
scared
me
to
ask-
talk
let me
is
ask
because
Stephanie a
people
question.
lie.
So Stephanie, you've I mean, you deal with a lot of women, and especially in the community. Just take the community for example, right? So how many women in the community, say percentage wise, and obviously we don't have a clear cut way of having the statistic, but what would you guess, would be a number that where women have been sexually molested by, whether it's a family member, a friend, or uncle, cousin, whatever it is?
It's a lot. The first couple years that I was doing retreats and I was doing a lot of like just outreach with like a lot of teens, I would say about 75%.
Wow.
Whoa.
Jeez.
That's huge.
And I went directly to a priest because I was floored by it. And literally the priest looked at me and he was like, "I know." And I was like, "What do you mean you know? Like what do we got to do about this?" And he's like, "No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to come forward. No one wants to have their family's business out there. Nobody wants to go anywhere. No one wants to talk about it."
So is it
That's
known with other uncles and aunts and stuff?
Yeah,
If it's-
sometimes. Sometimes it's never known, but sometimes it is. Sometimes parents know. They'll just keep them away from that person, but that doesn't take away the trauma.
I'm just curious, like out of the 75%, like how many were involved?
What do you mean?
Like how many were were on the retreat? How many women were on the retreat, for example?
What do you mean? I don't get it.
So like the women from the women in the retreat, 75% of them.
Mm-hmm.
But how many women were there?
Oh, I mean, we were taking 25 girls a year. We've done this retreat for 12 years, sometimes twice a year. So we're looking at maybe 400 girls.
And so 75% out of 400 girls. That's
Huge.
That's a
That's
lot.
huge.
After the first year we had the
300 out of
retreat,
400.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's huge.
after the first year we did a retreat, we realized that it was an issue and we started to actually address it. Like we had a full like talk about it. We had a small group discussion about it. We had someone actually from the court system to come in and talk to them about like laws and what it means to be raped and what what you can do if that happened. And actually one of the years that she came in to speak to the girls in open like group, all like 30 of us spoke up and said that they had been sexually assaulted at some point by a family member. Not like strangers, not teachers. I'm talking like uncles, cousins, brothers, sometimes dads.
These are devils in the midst.
But they're in our community.
Yeah, these are devils in the community.
It is. It's horrible.
Yeah, devil,
I
evil.
don't
devil
understand how
people.
this isn't being addressed. Like, why don't they talk about it at church? I mean, if the church knows about it.
Oh, they do.
Taboo.
Nobody
Very
wants.
taboo.
No one wants to talk about it. Everyone will deny it.
Very taboo.
The church has really, really tried. I've even had some priests tell me that, like, they've tried to, like, talk to the girl about maybe approaching that family and saying that, like, she told them during confession or
Yeah, yeah.
she told them in confidence and she didn't want to, like, put the family on blast, like, trying to, like, almost defend her.
Yeah.
But it's not possible. It's not.
John
you can't do it.
Calabat is asking you, he said, please define sexual assault. That number is very high.
That number is very high, and it's very true. Trust me. Anything that unwanted touching, unwanted penetration. I mean, it could be anything.
I mean, I consider I consider inappropriately rubbing a woman's breast sexual
Exactly.
assault. That's BS, dude.
What, just like walking up to her and doing it, or
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
that's a sexual. I consider that
I mean,
sexual
obviously
assault.
that's
what
can't-
was that? What's that
you can't just
famous
walk up-
cook chef that just
Mario
did that?
Batali.
Batali, yeah, yeah. He'd pour wine on a woman's dress and start touching her.
Like
Yeah.
as a side job or at work.
On purpose, they'd be
Yeah, he'd
like,
purposely,
Yeah.
he'd purposely.
Like, hey,
so, like, you know, he could.
Hey, whoa! You guys see that?
that's
Yeah.
it. We're reporting this one.
Yeah.
32
okay.
tonight.
76%.
No, but no. He
And
was-
it happens to boys too. It's not just girls.
I know.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I just sexually
Trust-
harassed Justin over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been in those positions before.
And Justin said, like, no
I
parent would
never
willingly
did that to
admit
you,
that their
Steve.
child
No.
has been
Stop worrying.
abused,
No.
even if the child told the parent. Because that's the problem in our community, too, is that, let's say a girl comes forward and says that she was abused, that not just the person that abused her is now at risk of their reputation being ruined, because hers is now, too. So, really, how are they going to come forward?
And that's what Justin Gabar just said. No parent would willingly
Yeah.
admit that their child has been abused, even if the child told the parent. The shame associated with the topic, parents don't want the last
It's actually my
And
first
it's
cousin.
true.
I mean, think
He's a
about it.
good
You know,
guy.
I was actually I had this
He's having
discussion.
another baby.
I had this discussion probably
For
about a week
Elizabeth.
ago with my friend Rafid, and he wasn't even surprised in the least when we were talking. I said the numbers are pretty high, you know, and he goes, think about it. The uncle will tell the niece, "Hey, you habibti, come sit in my lap," and who knows what they do after that,
It's true.
you know?
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come sit in my lap, and who knows, you know? I mean, they just start rubbing, you know? I mean, you don't. That's again to me. That's
That's sick.
It is.
That's wrong.
that's sexual assault.
So maybe how about Santa?
Oh, gosh.
Santa does that too.
Mm-hmm.
He was caught last year or last season.
I'm
Which
sure
one?
There's
There's a
always
few.
Don't tell me
out there.
tattoo Santa.
Oh, yeah.
I like tattoo Santa.
No, not tattoo Santa.
If you guys have kids listening, cover their ears.
So what do we do? What's the situation? We just talk about it and let it be, or is there any type of solution
Well,
to this?
I think as with any taboo subject, the key is to keep pounding and keep drilling until people, you know, start realizing
It's
that the
a,
only
it's a mental disease.
only
Okay.
solution is to come forward and start bringing it out in the open, bring it into the light, as Father Pierre says.
It's a very physical.
And also, if
and
you
mental
have been
disease.
abused, get help for it. At least
Yep.
then it won't continue for the rest of your life, where it affects your relationships, your your everyday life. Like, if you can't do anything about the past and your family's not going to come forward, at least get the help you need for it at this point in your life.
Yeah, at least to help yourself,
Yeah.
even if you don't come out in the public because you're scared of all the
Exactly.
repercussions.
Yeah, because if you repress it or if you just don't address it, you know, later on, like for example, women, they become like promiscuous because of that. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
men become abusers. Sometimes women become
99%
abusers.
of the time.
So-
Guys, let's hit the share button on the bottom right of your box. Share with your friends. Let's get this shared out. And we're going to be talking about politics pretty soon. So let's get this shared out.
You know,
Melody said, here's one for you, Omar. Melody says, we teach kids to respect adults and do what they say. We need to teach them that they have the right to break those rules
Yep.
if they're in an
Yes.
unsafe or uncomfortable situation.
Absolutely.
Like you
Which
said.
I have a song about that.
Beautifully
It's called
said,
Vintage
Melody.
Garbage, being recorded on the next album, which talks about, you look at a lot of these adults and people that are older, and you look at them, the kids look at them to like, oh, well, they have all this respect for him and everything, and the guy could have been a scumbag when they were younger. They could have done all kinds of bad things, but the child, you're innocent, and the first line is, teach your kids to respect, not trust,
I know
Counselor,
that like Father Patrick and Father Pierre at Mother of God have been extremely adamant. Like when they mention things like Peter's angels and whatnot, they strongly encourage, they adamantly encourage all the parishioners, and they even clown on how bad it's. Oh, we don't want to talk about it. It's shameful, and they literally, they harshly criticize that mentality and that attitude. So to me, it's like kudos to those guys for being that obstinate and that adamant.
You know what? And sadly, and I hate to bring this topic up, look what happened in the church, that they moved him to a different. They knew what was going on and moved the priest to a different parish. That is unbelievable. Listen, there's 99% of the priests are great, but that's like unforgivable to do that.
Yeah,
To go move
absolutely.
them to another parish. They should have just came in with the handcuffs and just grabbed them,
Well-
take their collar off, and throw them in jail.
Right.
There's
Well,
no
the
reason
church
to-
is trying to avoid these situations too.
Mm-hmm.
They did, protecting God's children is like a
Yep.
big program, and everybody has to go through it, no matter what you're volunteering for.
Yep.
And they're trying. So it's not only just telling I know John Calbat said, teach your daughters and sons to tell you everything, but also we're trying to protect ourselves too. The church is teaching us, don't be alone in a room with somebody. We're on retreat, so we spend the night at a retreat center. Not a single door gets closed. Literally, bedroom doors stay open because we don't want anything to happen. So we don't let people lock their doors. If they're changing, they can close them. If they're sleeping, they can close them. No locking doors. If there's an adult with a child, we make sure that there's either 2 or more, or they're in an open space. So not putting ourselves in that position to even get accused of it is also important too.
And by the way, I'm not trying to.
No, I
That's not my or like some harsh criticism of the church. My point is that it can happen anywhere, even in the most
Absolutely.
trusted
Yeah.
organization.
Right.
you know?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, no.
It can happen
I mean,
anywhere.
That was huge. I mean, that was huge what was happening in the Catholic Church.
I'm not gonna lie. I was fuming when I saw they moved
yeah.
into different parishes and knowing what was
Yeah.
going on and
Yeah.
the abuse was going on for a long time.
For a
It's
long
unforgivable.
time. It's absolutely unforgivable. But then there's that whole, if they out these people and then it makes the organization as a whole look bad. Just like with
But can't they take them and just throw them in jail and like even if
They could.
but moving them to another parish
Right.
is a
That-
whole
right,
new
yes.
level of
Absolutely.
low.
Yeah.
Knowing what their illness is, what they're going to do to people.
Well, just like this whole Larry Nassar situation. So if they, all these people are coming forward and saying, "Oh, this happened," and everyone's going, "Oh no, it's not what it is," blah blah blah. Well, they felt as though if they out it, then the whole organization now Michigan State is under fire. I mean, everybody's under the gun now
yeah.
because of him. So
Yeah.
that's why everybody's trying to save their own ass. Really, at the end of the day,
but they're
that's
trying
what
to
it
save
boils down
themselves
to.
because they were blocking for him in the first
Right,
place.
right.
If somebody would have just had the guts to go, "Hey, wait a minute," and go in front of the Michigan State board and say,
Something
we're
not
stopping
right.
this right now.
Guts
Get
means-
this guy the hell out of let's have him right now in front of the police, interrogated, and see what's going on.
But your guts, that means, to define that, losing my job, being blacklisted,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
being not spoken to by my peers,
Right.
Like forfeiting my life for what it is right now. That's what having guts is, and a
Yep.
lot of people don't have that.
it's
Yeah.
tough.
And
It's
a lot
tough.
of people don't want to lose their job or their career, their salary, so they're not going to come forward. And I don't think it's ever going to change. I don't think it's ever going to change unless there's consequences to be paid if somebody doesn't come forward. Like if
Yeah.
somebody knows about it, like Larry goes to jail for whatever 1,000 years. Everyone that was involved should get like a commission, right? Like we talked about, like maybe 5% or 10% of Larry's sentence. Then you know what would
Absolutely.
happen? A lot of people are going to come forward now.
Yep.
But people aren't coming forward because it's not for their own good. That's the truth of what it comes down to. Because people are selfish, a lot of people these days, and they don't care. If
But isn't that sad that you know that there's a person that's harming children?
Yep.
Like,
That's sick.
Yeah.
I would kill
Th-
someone if they touched
Yep.
my son.
so that there's a person out there
Literally.
that's harming children, like on a regular basis, not once or twice, but regularly, and you just stand by and watch that. What kind of person does that make you?
Hey, look at Penn State. That assistant coach was like, "Hey, I went back and told them. I saw what was going on. I witnessed it." And they said, "Oh, don't worry about it." Like
Keep
what?
quiet about it, basically.
Yeah, and he's the one who ended up breaking the thing, and they were basically gonna, the Penn State basically was gonna go off on him.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the whole thing broke through. Look at Joe Paterno, who was a more respected coach
Yeah.
than Joe. Joe Paterno was like the ideal for coaching. Grant, Joe Pa, and he's the upstanding guy. You found out all these years he knew what was going on, and that's why when he was going to get indicted, he had a heart attack and died. He knew exactly what he had done all those years. But how the hell did it go on for whatever 20, 30
Decades.
years?
Yeah, decades.
20, 30 years without one person
Yeah.
coming forward, without one parent, even from those boys that were getting molested in the shower by him. Nobody came out and said this. Nobody. One of those parents had to know.
Yeah.
Did they try and come out against you? They probably did try and come out against university, and university squashed them.
I will say, I think the only silver lining to all of this Larry Nassar stuff is I think that it did bring light to a lot of the sexual assault stuff. And I think that people did, like the whole Me Too thing,
Yeah.
like everywhere on social media and things like that. I think it did bring it out in the open, and I think people were a little more open about it. And I think that people might be a little more open, even if it's a little bit. It's, it's better than nothing. At
Was
this
Me
point.
Too before Larry? Or-
That was because of Larry, wasn't it?
No, Me Too
No.
was because of Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
You
Harvey
know what?
Weinstein. Yeah, you're right.
One thing I got to say, like there's times the internet is a very negative thing, and there's
Yeah.
times it's very positive. The
Yeah.
positive part about the internet in this situation is 25 years ago, you couldn't sound the horn and get it to anybody.
Yeah.
If you were a kid who was molested at Penn State, you would go to the news in, let's say, Pennsylvania, and they'd be like, oh, hell no, we ain't putting this guy in the news to talk about this. This is our beloved Penn, I can't say tongue twister. The,
Nifty
beloved
Lions.
Nittany Lions. But anyway, their beloved football team.
Your tongue is still twisted.
I know. In a knot. So anyway, their beloved football team, you can't go up against them, and they squash you. You go to the next media company, they squash you. Well, guess what? You get on the internet,
yeah.
You can do anything
you
you
can
want
get
now.
heard. You can get heard, and that's why it's good that these people can get out there and get heard for once. That's the one positive about this that's come out. Harvey Weinstein going down. Why? Because they have a voice now.
Yeah, but what's going to happen to Harvey Weinstein? Nothing. Is he going to go to jail? No.
Probably not, because they're probably going to do something for them. They'll probably have a retirement party.
But
for
something
him,
I want to
knowing
say
the
about
industry.
about Harvey Weinstein, I do want to say something. A lot of it was consensual. I mean, a lot of what Harvey Weinstein did was consensual. That's how it is in Hollywood.
Yeah,
you have to.
unfortunately.
Everyone knows that's the way it is. You have to sleep to get to where you want to go. And so I'm sure his moves didn't work with the right girls, or he was a little too aggressive at times. And I'm sure, yes, he was a pedophile as well, or he was a sexual harasser, whatever.
I don't think there's any pedophilia. That was with what's his name?
I mean, he was a sexual harasser.
Yeah,
is what I
he's-
mean. At
he's
the end of the
still
day,
a
I'm sure
predator.
he did.
Yeah.
You know, Russell Simmons also resigned, right?
Oh,
That's one
really?
of the most
That's
powerful
another
guys in
one.
the music industry. He just resigned because of rape.
They're from Def Jam, right?
Yeah.
Def Jam, yeah. Russell Simmons just resigned. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of executives that are going to say, "Well, I just decided to retire." You'll see what's about to happen.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the only silver lining to this.
Yeah.
As I feel like
Yeah.
it's bringing it to the forefront, and maybe, just maybe, even if it affects a little population that's going to come out and talk about it, or if people are going to start to resign, hey, take them out of wherever the situation is. That's even better. I mean, I would love for them to get punished for what they've done, but
Well, see, but here's the thing: a lot of these people are not going to. Well, yeah, Larry Nassar obviously is getting
Yeah.
punished, and whatever punishment he gets, really,
He deserves, obviously.
it's not even fitting for the crimes that he's committed. He's just a
he's
vile.
just-
I mean that.
he's very sick.
Yeah, beyond sick. But like the Harvey Weinsteins and the what's his name, who was one of my favorite actors,
Morning.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah.
Come on, that guy was a creep from the beginning.
He was
No, I
great.
loved
He really
him.
took me for a ride in American Beauty.
Beauty, yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I loved him as an
Disgusting.
actor. But now I'm like, and I'm thinking, because he
probably
did.
wanted that
He
scene
tried
at the
to
end with
that
boy.
that little
100%. He thought of it.
kid
Sergio.
that he tried to have sex with
Yeah, yeah.
the 14-year-old. So what's going to happen to him? Nothing. They kicked him off the show that he's on, whatever Netflix show that
House
he
of
was
Cards.
on. Yep. So they canceled the show, but still. Nothing's going to happen to him. He's going to go on, and now they said something about he's went to rehab for sex addiction or some stupid shit like that.
Alizala, man.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Sex
and-
addiction. That's like when you know you have no alibi. So you go,
Right.
the problem is.
Yeah.
So
I'm
we
addicted.
got midterm elections coming up soon, right? Mm-hmm. And
I think that's Omar's way of changing the subject.
well, we have another topic to talk about anyway.
Alright.
Thank you,
So.
Omar.
So with midterm elections coming up, we're going to have a couple of Chaldean candidates. So I wanted to hear from you guys. Should we vote for somebody just based on them being Chaldean?
Absolutely.
No.
If they have a R in front of their name
No.
only.
Nope.
No.
If
no,
they're Republicans, you vote for them.
No.
Bottom line.
No.
Yes. Helen, you vote Republican. Bottom line.
No, I
Really?
vote.
Yes.
No.
I disagree with that.
I don't care
Thank
who it
you.
is. It could be Charles Manson. And you vote
We're talking about
Republican.
Chaldeans. Should
Whatever.
We vote based
Charles
on
Mansour. you,
Kais Mansour.
you vote for these guys, okay? You got to vote Republican because Democrats are becoming more evil and more evil by the hour. Okay?
How about that one
You
candidate
vote
that's
Republicans, and they're taking these Chaldeans for a spin. They do not know what they're doing. These Chaldeans, whoever
Was Larry
Chaldean that
Nassar
wants to put a
a
D by
Republican
their
or a
name
Democrat?
is demon,
No idea.
devil. That's what it stands for. Help your Chaldean brothers and sisters to get away from the Democratic Party. They are a bunch of devils, and they will take.
Okay, then hold on. Based on what you're saying, if you took two Republicans and one of them was Chaldean and the other one wasn't, are you going to vote for the Chaldean one just because he's Chaldean?
Absolutely.
I disagree.
Absolutely.
I disagree.
You
completely.
have to vote Republican,
I don't have to do anything.
regardless,
We-
and Chaldean.
I don't know Steve, so I don't know if he's being serious right now or not.
Oh, he's being serious.
He's being serious. I disagree. You got to vet the person out and see what kind of.
Listen.
Thank you.
Listen. If there's a Democrat, okay,
If
and if there's a Republican,
if there's a Chaldean Republican and a Jew Republican,
oh no! You wait. Yeah,
That's
that's
his
I
name?
thought
what I
you said
just said.
R or D.
That's-
But
Are there
as,
Jewish
as far as, of course, but
No.
as far as Republicans
Really? How cool.
goes, as far as Chaldeans, you vote them in no matter what. You vote them in no matter what. And the Democrats that are
they're liberal
the
too.
Chaldeans that are Democrats really have no bearing in our community. They have no influence in our community. Their tone and their speech falls on deaf ears because
The way they dress.
Wait, look, Stephanie's new to all this, so she's looking to see, like, is this guy for
No,
real?
she knows what's up. Listen. In the Democratic Party, you have to support abortion. If you don't support abortion, you're not allowed in. That's what the Perez guy said, the leader
who
of the
said
party.
this?
Tom Perez, the leader of their party.
To back
Even-
you up on something, Steve.
And you cannot be a Democrat and be pro-life. You cannot be that. Because they'll look at you like, well, you're not a real Democrat then. If you're not, for abortions. Well, what do you
no
want me to do?
pro-choice. You mean?
Pro-choice. If you're not
Yeah.
for abortions.
Listen,
to
I'm
have
going to agree with you
That
for
means
one
they're
time in my
pro-choice.
life. Hold on, Steve. I want to agree with you on something. I will agree that the Democratic Party has become extreme left. Compared, like, there's a guy on TV now. What's his name? Shri or whatever it is. He's like, I'm the most progressive. I believe in single-payer system. I believe it. He's like,
Oh, the guy on the
he's not
doing the
even trying to
commercial?
hide what he is. You know.
But see, Democrats of today these people have gone all the way to, like,
That's what I'm saying.
complete
They've become extreme
Yeah,
left.
they're like,
They're
they're
radical.
extreme. These people are full-blown communists.
Extreme
Yeah,
taxation. Extreme,
I mean, they are like
Everything's extreme.
way. It's
It's
just
getting bad,
too. Yeah,
worse
it's a
and worse
bad.
by the minute.
extreme everything, but then they bring, for credibility, they bring Hillary Clinton on the Grammy Awards. That's their
Unbelievable.
credible person.
Who
Who the hell? That's
how about
like the demon
how about
herself,
how about
you know?
Sloppy Joe, Greasy Joe on the rebuttal?
Who?
Sloppy Joe, Greasy Joe.
I don't
How
know.
about,
Grease
how about
Joe?
how about Creepy Joe or Joe Biden? Have you seen the
Chapstick
videos on
Joe?
him? Going back to molestation, have you seen the videos on Creepy Joe?
No.
Do yourself a favor, get on YouTube, just flipping back for 1 second to the other topic. You see the videos of him, and he's touching all these
course.
12 and
That's the
13-year-old
most
girls,
disgusting
grabbing
thing I've
them around
ever
the waist
seen
in
in my
photos
life.
and whisper in their ear. When you get a chance, you want to
Oh.
see a scum bucket.
Worse
The
than scum
Secret
bucket.
Service, they quit. They made him stop having parties at his house because he walks around completely naked with all the Secret Service at the house. He was touching, like, they used to have like an event for the people in the military, and he was basically trying to touch all the wives, and the military guys had to literally stand in front of their wife so that he wouldn't be able to touch them. Look
How
up
was
this
he
stuff.
touching? How was he touching her?
Trying to grope them basically with their
Put
husbands.
their arms around them
And puts
Hey,
in inappropriate
touches their
spots,
hair,
touch them in inappropriate
do all this
spots.
stupid
But
stuff.
some people are more touchy-feely.
Yeah,
No.
not This guy.
Watch.
Come on,
Just do
seriously.
yourself a
This guy.
favor before you say anything.
He's
Piece
a
of
touchy
shit.
kind of guy.
Go on
He's
YouTube.
a piece of shit.
See him whispering into these 13
Give me a little-
13-year-old girls' ears and touch him. It's like, seriously.
You know what? Give me some video editing software, some creepy music. I'll
This
make
is
the
not
same
video-
video on
No,
all
no.
of us here.
Go look.
Dude,
Seriously.
Look,
just watch the video. I'll guarantee
He went
you.
to Jeff Sessions' grandkids. Jeff Sessions was livid. They were swearing in someone. I believe it was even Jeff Sessions. They were swearing him in, or something was going on. And Jeff he has an Oriental grandkids. And Joe tried to grab him. Jeff Sessions, get off me. Get off him. Go. Move somewhere else.
Creepy Joe.
What was the craziest thing?
Just so you know.
Whoa.
Well, I don't
Pull it up
doubt
on
it.
YouTube.
I don't
Jeff Sessions, Joe
doubt
Biden.
it.
You'll
Yeah.
see.
Maybe
Sorry to
maybe
flip back
knew.
real quick.
No, I don't doubt it.
knows.
I don't
Everyone
doubt it.
Back
knows.
to
Back to the
would
Democrats
you
here.
vote
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because
yeah.
Chaldean?
Would you vote just because the person's Chaldean?
You know, I will
Absolutely.
agree.
I don't know.
If it's a Republican versus Democrat, I probably would, because I do agree with Steve that aligning your values, like extreme taxation, is Democratic. Extreme everything, transgender bathrooms, trusting Hillary Clinton, These are all just the fact that she.
I love Barack. He's our angel.
Just the
I mean,
fact
come on,
that
seriously.
Hillary represented the
You love
Democratic
who?
Party.
I love like you have to love Barack too if you're a Democrat.
Why?
Like he's the
He's like
best
their
president
he's like
in the
their
world.
Reagan.
Yeah, because they don't know what to
Is.
do. He was like, oh, we need.
What do
Barack.
they? I'm just curious. What they love.
The media does it.
What
to
do they
them.
love about him?
The media tells them
Something
so.
about
Whatever
the
the
media.
media. Listen, you want to know if they're a true Democrat? You listen to their talking points, and if they align with CNN, MSNBC, and whatever else, that's because they have no other choice or
But there's no
opportunity.
more
or
middle left. That's the
there's-
problem.
just-
It's extreme left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I
That's-
said,
yeah.
if Hillary's your representative, you got serious problems. When they bring her out into the Grammys and they give her a
That was
standing
just
ovation,
weird.
that is like disturbing. And somebody please explain to me why Kwame Kilpatrick is in jail for like 20 years doing 1/50th of what
Of-
Hillary's
yeah.
done, and she's running for president and still has all this influence. How is she not jailed? Somebody please explain this to me.
Garbage system.
You know, and if they
But
want
they're
to talk
coming.
about if
They're
they want to
coming.
talk about racial situation, you could say it's because of the race that he's in jail and she's out.
They're
There's some
coming.
truth to that.
They're coming for her. They're coming for all
Somebody has she
I don't
has
know.
to be held
Who's
of them. They're
accountable.
all
coming for them?
They're everyone.
No,
They're
who?
coming.
No one's
Who's coming
going.
for
no-
it? Who?
So I'll agree with I half agree with you, Steve. If it's Republican versus Republican,
No
I'd
one-
say you vet him out. But if it's R versus
No one's
D,
coming for her.
No, they're gonna leave her alone. She somehow like has this.
No.
If it's
Shield around
two Chaldean, if it's two Republicans, one is Chaldean, one is not. I am personally would definitely not vote for the Chaldean just based on the ethnicity thing.
I agree.
Omar,
I just
Gus
think
Arab was on
Chaldean
here
Democrats.
asking about gambling.
Hi, Gus.
A
That's
dollar
our
short and a
cousin.
day late, buddy.
I think Democrat Chaldeans, if their talking points and if all they want to do is talk about the old left and the old Obama party and all these talking points, I think they're just full of shit. Bottom line, they have nothing else to do. Runoff and their hatred stems towards Donald
I'm going to
Trump
give you a great example.
and that they lost.
When Pelosi said remember when Obama gave everybody $40 on their check extra,
and she went crazy
She goes,
for it.
that is very significant for people to get
Yes.
$40, and then he gave people what do you call them with Trump's cuts? People were getting $1,000
Crumbs.
back. She goes, that is pennies. That's
Crumbs.
nothing.
Crumbs.
Crumbs.
Breadcrumbs.
Crumbs. They're giving you crumbs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these people are
It's
wicked.
amazing how the narrative spins depending on what you need.
That's why it's very important come 2018, October, November, you get everyone out like we did last year to vote Republican. I don't care who it is. You just straight ticket Republican. Vote Republican. You have to. All Democrat have to go by the wayside. Chaldeans will vote Republican and turn Michigan red once again. We have to. We have to. There's no other choice. There might be like 20, 25 handful of Democrat Chaldeans. A couple of them are running. A couple of them are idiots, whatever. But they'll never,
Steve, I hate
ever.
to break you this
they'll
news,
never-
brother,
these
but a lot of our
Democrat
organizations were Democratic. A lot
Yeah,
of the Chaldean
that's fine.
organizations were Democratic.
After they
Just so you
seen
know.
after they seen what happened in Shenandoah and those messed up fundraisers where the Democrats came and took their money, I don't think they'll be doing that anymore. But as far as these,
Remember Sam Gumma?
as far as these,
What happened?
He was so adamantly pissed off when all that stuff happened. I mean, he actually wrote a column for the Chaldean News about it. He went off on the Chaldeans who supported that when Biden was here.
Oh.
Yeah.
When they brought Biden in a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
what
yeah,
happened?
He went on Facebook and went off, and Jim Manna did a column, or I don't remember, but
No, Jim went off on people for criticizing.
in the
Joe
column,
Biden?
right?
Yeah, in the column.
Okay,
yeah.
and Sam got really ticked off, and he went and started posting about it and stuff like that, and it was funny because they were
I mean,
kinda
listen,
going back
it's a
and
free
forth.
country. You can do what you want. If you want to go to that and support them, that's your look. If they wanted to take pictures of them, that's up to them. It's also Sam's right to protest against it. So that's the beauty of America. We obviously don't agree, but it's your right to do what you want to do.
Chaldeans by nature are more conservative.
I disagree.
Chaldeans are more conservative by nature as far
They're-
as pro-life.
They're conservative
As
in
far as-
lifestyle,
as far as
Democratic in voting a lot of times. I
Okay.
mean, this time a lot of them voted Republican, but a lot of times they vote Democrat. I got a lot of my
there's
relatives are very Democratic.
There's 25 Democrats in our community. Okay, like a handful. Literally, there's a handful. These 25 Democrats wish and dreamed and hoped that we could all turn into Democrats like them, but that will never happen. And if you guys are listening, any of you fools, we are a party. We are a party of pro-life. We are a party of conservative values. We are a party of lesser government. and
Less taxes.
less
I have a
taxes.
question. Do we have anybody running that's
Absolutely.
a Chaldean that's a Democrat?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Some of them I respect, and some of them are total shitbag losers. Okay, they think
Tell us how you
they
feel.
think they could. They think they're smarter than everyone. They think they could talk over everyone. They think they could do this.
Come on, we
and
know
that
some
over
people like
everyone.
that, don't we?
And
Sure.
all their conversation all
Mentally
boils
superior
down
to everybody?
and correlates to one thing: Trump. Oh, you support Trump, you must be dumb. Oh, you support Trump, you're an idiot.
got
Oh,
voted
Yeah,
in.
they support
like,
Hillary.
really, really.
Sorry, Trump got voted in, not because the Chaldeans
Yeah.
voted for
Nope.
him.
We had
Yeah.
nothing to do with it. It was the United States.
I think
in
everyone
general.
backpedaled as fast as they could, but obviously enough people voted for him.
The only ones that didn't
Backpedaled
vote for him were
when-
the
when
United
Trump
States of
got voted in.
California.
Like everyone, all
So
of
what
a sudden
about-
hated him. Like what about all the people that
Who
voted
hated
for
him?
him?
Chaldeans hated
No,
him?
no, just in general.
Oh no, nobody hates. That's what the
Yeah,
media wants to do.
exactly.
There's no his approving ratings. You go to Real Clear Politics. They'll show like Rasmussen, he's tied, and then the one under it, which would be like Mammoth, he's down like 32 points. Like how is that
Exactly.
possible?
Yeah, because the polling sample. We
Like
polled-
how is that possible? Whoever polled
polled
me,
300
anyone,
Democrats.
yeah, we polled
What do you
300
think about Trump?
Democrats in New York,
At the public library.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
300
at
teachers.
the MCR studios. Jeez, you know it's like a joke.
Dominic says your hair is looking thick.
Thanks, Dominic. That's my brother.
Oh, I figured as much.
Your hair's
Yeah.
looking what, thick?
You do have a nice head of hair, Justin.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. So bottom line, if you know any Democrats,
And
stay
that's-
away.
That's
We're gonna
harassment.
Get off the topic.
Don't
I
let
was
them.
about to say, and that was not intended in any.
Don't
Does
let
anyone
them
have a
talk
good
you
sexual
into their
harassment
platform.
attorney?
Don't let them talk to you
Mark's
into
got a
their
nice head of hair
agenda.
too.
Don't
Well-
let them talk to you into anything.
Here's
Over.
the thing:
I
the
don't- we don't
Chaldeans
know
that
about
are running
Stevie's
in the
always wearing a
Democratic
hair.
office this year, and later on this year, when everything becomes more public, we'll obviously, mention names and address and give our opinion and whatnot. But some of the ones who are planning on running this year, actually they have kind of spearheaded a movement against the church in a way too.
How so?
Evil.
I mean, they're not happy. They're not really theists, so they're not really happy about the church and its authority over the community. So they're trying to steer the younger generation away from the church.
A lot of the younger generation is pretty liberal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
of the
yeah.
colleges.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's
Snapchat.
Mhm.
They're on their Snapchat all day. That's all
I
liberal
don't-
media.
Free college. Oh my gosh. That's so worth it. I'm voted Democratic.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I,
I
said,
mean, look, it's not.
D is for devil. D is for devil.
So
Stay away.
So,
For
all
daddy.
so these Democratic people that are running, are they pro-life?
D is for devil.
no.
They say I'm not
You
pro-life.
can't be, 'cause
but I
that's-
don't-
You
mean,
can't
they're
be. That's
pro-choice.
against your
Yeah.
party.
They're pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
You can't.
Yeah.
You,
So
you
they're
have to
pro-choice,
accept
pro-choice.
everything.
Pro-choice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have to accept everything.
It's
You
all
have
or
to
nothing.
accept everything.
Yeah.
I got a lot
Illegal
of-
aliens, everything, whatever you could think of. We support
Transgender,
the
the
illegal
whole-
aliens before
yeah.
you. We support illegal aliens before our citizens. We transgender. I mean, like I said,
They're okay
some
with-
aliens
they're
are
okay
great
with
people.
grown men going
Whatever,
to the
they have a
bathroom
path to
with their little
citizenship. Some
girls.
transgender, I'm sure they're great
with
people.
that, yeah.
But don't shove it down my face and don't tell me I have to vote for you guys. If I don't like it, then I'm an idiot or stupid or whatever. That's why they lost, and that's why they'll lose again, because they are the party of evil, and this country woke up after 8 years of devil.
Well then,
Jeez.
now I know why he wanted to have this topic. He was excited about this
Listen,
topic, not
we
the
got,
first
we
one.
got 5 months. We got 6 months before the elections, right? What is it? 6, 7 months?
Before
What is it?
midterm?
November? 8 months, roughly.
What do you think is going to happen?
Republicans are going to take it.
more seats,
Oh
you think?
yeah.
You think
Oh,
so?
100%. But we have to be enthusiastic, and we have to be the same way that we did. Like everyone's coming out. I was driving people to
So
the polls.
let me ask you a
literally.
question then. Here's another interesting question. Since you're Democrats, conservatives, do you think Chaldeans still mostly are conservative or Democrat right
98% Republicans.
I
I
disagree.
don't
a
know
lot of
about
confusion.
98%.
I don't know.
No, I think a lot are
I don't know
confused.
about
98.
Yeah.
Not with the younger
50-50.
generation.
Yeah, the younger
98%.
generation.
Leave the younger generation
No,
alone.
yeah,
They're
but
being brainwashed.
But hold on a
that's still
second.
a
See,
population.
Don't
yeah,
get there.
they're the
I
probably.
voted for Obama. What do you mean? They'll be brainwashed. They're being brainwashed. But once they get older and they realize what it means to be a Democrat and conservative, it's over with. When you get older, these things click in your head because, like I said, this isn't our nature. Our nature is conservatism. That's it.
So the rest of you guys, Chaldeans, mostly conservative, Democrat, or is it split down the middle?
Split.
Yeah, I
What do
mean,
you mean?
I,
This whole
yeah.
say
table-
mostly
This
Republican,
whole
but I
table
don't
is
think-
conservative, right?
I agree.
Okay.
I think it's like
So-
70-30.
Yeah, more
Or
than
maybe
that.
60,
It's
40.
90-10.
Yeah.
Any
No, I don't think
listen,
so. that's-
any
I don't know.
okay,
90
any
kind
old
of
school,
steep, man.
any old schooler Chaldean you ask, do you support abortions? They'll tell you hell no, right?
Doesn't matter.
You support the young girls and the young men these days. Say yeah, we don't care because they're being trained to think like that.
Yeah, but
But
Steve,
when they get older and they understand the consequences, that's when they'll change their mind and they'll get back to reality.
It doesn't
I don't
matter.
think
We're
so.
always
I
going to
don't-
have a
not
young
always.
generation.
Yeah.
The African American community, when polled, most of them are against gay marriage, most of them are against abortion, and most of them vote Democrat. So you can't. It's not explainable.
Not
They
for long.
They even polled truck drivers. Most of them are against gay marriage. Most of them are against truck drivers, and they still vote Democratic.
Yeah.
So explain.
I think there's a confusion on what party to vote for a lot of people, and it's like if I'm a Democrat, I'm for all these values, right? I'm for abortions, I'm for transgenders sharing the same bathrooms. But if I'm a Republican, then I'm totally against the Democrat, right? Point being, I think people are torn apart on what to vote. And I think what we're going to see happen is there's going to be a new party formed.
Well,
I hope
And I
so.
think the new party is going to be the majority in the future. And
I
it's going to
think
be a
it's-
mix of both.
I think it's about being fooled by the media and the presentation. Because if you look at things the way they're presented to you, right? For example, when they want to make something, the young generation, they're turning them to Democrats because the way they present things. Right? They
It's
don't-
not even Democrats. Let's
wanna
call
give
it
you
what
an
it
example.
really
I
is.
wanna give you an
no,
example.
it's beyond. It's. I'm sorry, and I don't
No.
mean to cut you off, Mark, but nowadays, as we were talking earlier, Democrats of today, these people are not. They are so far
Let me
left.
give you an example of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I want to give you an example. So, example is, okay, they can present it to you as like when Obama gets up there and says, is he going to say, we have reason to keep these illegal aliens here in the United States because we love them? You would say, get rid of them. But what do? They say, we have devised the Dreamers Act.
Exactly.
It's the Dream Act now. It's
Yeah.
it's the opportunity for these. You know what? As a matter, and that every speech is like this. They always say, I was talking to Joe from Pennsylvania last night, and he said, thank you so much, President Obama, for sparing my family and saving my life. As a matter of fact, Joe's here in the crowd, isn't he? Come on up, Joe. Let's have a group hug and talk. They appeal to emotion over intellect. Intellectually, if you say there's something illegal, for example, if you went to the Super Bowl and you illegally got into the game, the cops would jump you and throw you out. No different on a
Just
bigger-
like we were talking about gambling.
Exactly, but if you walk into you can come into the country illegally, no problem. And if you go to Mexico, they have like these special IDs that are layered, 2 and 3 layers, where make sure you're a citizen. But over here, you can vote without an ID. But it's all about presentation. They always go after emotion over intellect. Don't you want free college? They don't tell you who's going to pay for that free college, taxing you harder, doing things like that. You can present anything the way you want. You can spin anything the way you want and make it look positive. You know what I mean?
Well, that's I mean, talking about the colleges and stuff. That's why going back to what we were saying earlier. I don't. There's no way that it's 90-10 as far as.
No.
That's crazy because
It's 50.
the younger generation is definitely way more
Maybe
liberal,
even 60,
and because
40.
yeah,
I'll give
because of
60%
academia,
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
there's so many involved now
Absolutely.
in colleges, whether they're going for doctors, lawyers, engineers, whatever it is, and it's through academia that they're becoming more liberal.
They wake up though.
By the way,
I don't know
Yeah,
about
but
that.
They
there's
wake up.
so
Generation will
waking
be
up.
them.
They
yeah,
wake
but
up.
there's
No, they
so
don't. They
much
wake up.
propaganda
Into the pot.
nowadays. Oh my
by
God!
the
wake up.
way, to
They
prove
wake
my
up
point,
sooner or
you
later.
know when Hitler rose to power, do you know that? He used all these tactics on his way up of saying, "Oh, look what I'm going to do for you. Guns are so bad for the people. We need to take them away." Do you know that a lot of Jewish people voted for him and got him into power, not knowing because
Yeah.
they were fooled too on the way
Yeah.
up. As to what was happening.
Yep.
But it's about this presentation. These young people are all fooled on this
Right.
thing.
Right.
it's your-
And
it's
that's
your-
the way. That's the way the government controls people.
It's your
right?
job as friends, as parents, as cousins, brothers, to promote conservative values, the Republican Party, things like that. When I say Democrats are evil, I'm not saying some of the people are, actual people are, but not all persons of the Democratic Party. They just don't know any better. When the media operates as an arm for the Democratic Party, it's very easy to get suckered into this kind of perception. So if you're smart enough to watch through it and look through it and see through it, you know.
But there's another thing too, Steve. There are some Chaldeans, and they, even though they are liberal, they're not radical. And to me, I don't mind that. Even though I disagree with it, I still respect them because they're not radical. They're not sitting here trying to shove their beliefs down your throat. They're cool about it.
Yep.
You know, like I said, the
got a
biggest
million
problem.
friends.
I don't know. I just
radicalism.
all I see is this radical shit, and I hate
Well,
it.
that's the
Every post. There's
Yeah,
some
because-
people on my
No,
Facebook.
let me. Yeah.
Every single post is a middle finger to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I hate you, ruined my life. Every day,
No,
15
all
posts a
these people
freaking day does
complaining
not
about-
stop for 2 years straight
Right.
now. I'm like, how do these people have the energy? How do you do
Listen,
it?
Donald
Is
Trump
this you
didn't
wake up
ruin
in the
their
morning
life.
and say
Their
my
life is the
ruined?
same. Their life
That's-
is the
it's what-
same
I
as
don't
it
get
was
it.
when Obama was
Yeah,
president.
exactly.
Okay, nobody ruined their life. It's all a bunch of bullshit.
Media hype
Okay,
has put it in
right?
their head that their life is worse
Exactly,
now because
because
of
they listen. They feel like they have to belong to something.
I
They
don't
need
know.
to. They need to belong with
I
this
don't know.
whatever group or follow whatever every. So it's popular to hate Donald Trump.
But you know what?
It's popular to,
Helen, I
dog him
get
at
it.
every-
I get it.
Right?
I get it.
Okay.
But if these people
I
are
don't like
smart
the
as
guy.
they say
I'm not
they
gonna
are or
spend
think
my
they are,
whole
then they should
entire-
know better. You know, they should know better if they, they're smart as they say they are or think they are.
Yeah, but
They should
it
know
makes
better.
them feel like they belong to something.
But it's almost as if you support Donald Trump, you're an asshole. That's how
Who
they. That's how
cares?
they
Yeah.
Who
get.
cares? Block. Margaret said
But
right
our
on
people,
her unfriend.
our,
cares?
our people can't be like that.
yeah, but you're
I'm
not
not
going
gonna
to
hate you. I'll call you a loser and a fool, but I'm not gonna sit there and hate you. I wish you die. You're a piece of shit Trump supporter. Look at you. You're gonna ruin our country. We're going to hell. Like seriously, get a freaking
Well,
grip.
there's.
Get a grip.
Well, all I tell people is, honestly, I'm not like, as a person, like I was like, oh yeah, Trump, but when you put Hillary Clinton against anybody, period,
Yeah, that was-
I'm voting for somebody else.
Right.
I don't give a damn
that's
who.
just it.
Yeah, I don't care who you're putting.
That's the
Margaret,
only reason-
Margaret said to unfriend him. You know, I like the people.
Or
I'm not
block.
going to unfriend them.
You can
But
unfollow
I
that.
just think it's
You can unfollow
hilarious.
that
Exactly.
I know. I like to see it. I like to see the meltdown. I'm sorry. It's entertainment to me. Every morning I wake up with a
Obviously.
smile on my face because this guy is our president. As bad as that sounds, could have been anything else worse than that. It would have been. But this guy is our president, so I take comfort in knowing that. Just like how they would take comfort in knowing that. Just like how they would take comfort of knowing Hillary was our president. And you know, if she would have won,
Oh my
all
gosh,
those
don't even think about that. Ugh.
right, all those people that were putting us down. Imagine what kind of field day they would be having right now.
Dude, I got
You know?
relatives that are so liberal. I just had to I shut off all.
You
their,
can't.
I mean, I didn't
You
block
can't.
them, but I just where I,
Unfollow
You can't
them.
I
deal
don't
with
want to
these
see
people.
any of their posts anymore
These
because
people
it's like
are
insanity.
reckless.
Well, who cares? So there's a handful of them, and like I said, they feel like they need to belong to something.
But I'm going to
So
do my best
they're
part,
jumping
best
on
job
a
to make
band-
sure no other Chaldeans switch. I will do my best part
listen,
and my
Steve,
best
if
job.
you
Whether it be
think-
yelling on this show, whether it be speaking crazy stuff or being really rude, I will do my best part to sink it in and nail it
Prophet
down.
just said what
Because
you're
that's what
going
I have
for.
to do. That is my part. Okay? I'm not, okay, when I say Donald Trump, I'm not, I don't worship anybody. I don't, but you know what? Thank
Wait a
God.
minute. On the
Thank
first show,
God.
on the first
Omar, please.
on the first
he
show,
is the anointed one. I'm not the only one saying that.
hold
Okay.
on. He's
I'm
what?
not. He
He's
is
what?
the anointed one, and I'm not. And I'm not the only one. Listen, you go to any Facebook page of Donald Trump, President of the United States. Every single 9 out of 10 posts. Thank you, Jesus. We pray for you and your family. Jesus, keep them safe. Jesus, we love you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. It doesn't stop. You go to Democrats' page.
F Trump.
F Trump.
F Trump.
There is no God.
He's right about that.
Jesus is not God. Jesus, forget God. What is this? Is this life? This is not life. This is not life with these people. These are satanic.
Don't serve
devil.
Chuck Roast
D
at a
for
wedding.
devil.
Oh, sorry. That was another day.
D for demon. D for devil. These people are
They're-
wicked.
okay, they're not
wicked,
all
wicked.
like that. They're
They
not
are
all like-
wicked.
Listen.
Their
They're not
party is
You're
wicked
talking
to the
about-
core.
listen.
It's shit.
You are talking about these people who have nothing better to do with their time than go on social media and
and rant.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And for these people who are spending that much time spewing their hatred about Donald Trump, they really need to find a hobby.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Okay.
Some of these
Or the
Chaldeans,
same people
they're out of their
who-
fucking mind.
Okay. Or the same people who are obsessing over him
The whole
need to
10%
find a
of them.
hobby. Okay.
Yeah, the whole 10%.
He's just a man.
That's not the point.
Yeah, no, that
you
is
see
the
what they
point.
did for Obama? They put him on their shoulders. See what the media does for him?
Okay, so
It's
do
not
you-
just the man.
But the
It's
media's
not.
liberal.
It's a lot of influence, Helen.
Hey, didn't Jimmy
This is
Kimmel
a
just
lot
tell
of
you?
Influence.
Liberals are smarter. That's why they can have
What
a
does
talk show.
Jimmy
We
Kimmel?
can't.
right?
Jimmy Kimmel puts a porn star on the stage. Tell us what happened. Tell us. She's like, what are you talking? Tell us what happened. This is how far these devils have gone. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, but
anymore.
who listens to him? A bunch of morons?
That's my point. These
Okay.
people are sick.
Okay.
If
but
they
again,
use
if-
the
if
media
you
as
can't-
their
if you can't-
personal education and talking points, these people are even sicker.
Okay, and who listens to them?
I don't care. I just whatever.
Exactly.
Unfriend or I don't even just unfollow,
Listen.
unfriend, block. All right, we got it.
For the last year and a half, no other greatest joy and pleasure than to seeing these people melt down all day long. I can't
Don't
tell
worry,
you.
it's only the
these
start.
What do they
these
call- what do they
handful
call
of
them?
Chaldeans,
Snowflake tears? Or,
snowflakes. These
Or what are they-
Chaldeans that are on my Facebook page that I was talking to you about.
Listen,
I
bro,
don't get.
you need a Tide Pod.
I don't get.
You need to eat a Tide
I don't
Pod.
get better joy than watching them
I
freak
have a
out.
question. What's with people eating Tide Pods? I heard about
It's
that.
over.
news.
It's no more. No one's doing
No,
it
no,
anymore.
wait. But
That's
what
old
happened?
news.
Yeah,
It's
no.
old news.
I
It was just a thing. Couple, 3, 4 people did it. Put it on YouTube and say, "Hey, we're eating Tide Pods."
why?
Screw them. They're
Did-
stupid.
what-
Whatever.
Ew.
They got to clean their mouth. Who knows? It's not the point.
Yeah, we used to threaten to wash. They used to threaten to wash out our mouth
That's
with
what
soap.
I
Now
was
they do it
gonna say.
themselves.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So you guys need to know how to make sure everybody's on the same page when it comes to Republican Party.
Listen,
My,
it's funny.
my
Conservative
question for Steve,
values.
though, is that if you're so all about this, why do you still have friends that are not Republicans?
because they're good people. They're nice people. It just I feel sad
How
for
come
them.
you haven't converted them yet?
I can't. You can't. I haven't even tried because I just look at them like, you know what? You know, they have their own opinion, but come on, dude. You know, I used to
Listen,
post.
Steve.
I used to post
Steve,
vote
hold on, let me
Donald
tell you a
Trump,
little
Donald
story.
Trump, this and that. I used to every day 37 things on my wall. Like, are these people serious? How could you be that mad still? It's
Hold
been
on.
2 years.
Steve, I know you're going to go on, but let me talk for a second. Helen, you had a great point. You know how these people that go nuts about, you know, like, because like their life is all of a sudden changed because there's a different president. I got my own relatives on Facebook. They're literally posting that they're like posting pictures of themselves at the liquor store going, I can't take it.
Right?
Trump is president. They're buying all this liquor and they're like drinking and they're doing, I'm like,
People are just
are you
dramatic.
guys serious? Just
That's such melodrama.
People
like-
just really love attention.
yeah, it's like you're, and all I see on their posts is the rights for transgenders, the rights for gays, the rights. Just post a picture of you and your family once, okay? Just something normal.
But this is the part that kills me. He is not taking anybody's freaking
Rights away.
Okay? Nothing has changed. All these people pissing and moaning about God only knows what. Again, and this is where it really upsets me because I'm not even a fan of the guy, but I often have to find myself defending him. But
Because you get sick of the idiots on the other side going crazy.
because
It's not even that you
kinda
like the guy that much, you know?
So it's just how since Donald Trump has been president, how has
Your
it
life
negative? Yeah,
changed?
how and all of these people nothing.
If anything, it's gotten better.
Well,
With
I don't know.
401ks and all that good stuff.
Okay, whatever.
If
okay?
they have them.
But right, if you have them, but all of these people pissing and moaning all day long, their life hasn't changed. Nothing in their life has changed because Donald Trump is president. They all, like I said, they have the need to feel like they belong to whatever group and whatever the popular thing is. So it's trendy to get on the I hate Donald Trump
when
bandwagon.
Obama was president, it was, hey, you need to be civil. Please, everybody get together as
Yeah.
mankind. As soon as Trump won, they're like, F you freaking racist motherfucker. It's like, wait a minute. Can we have a
No, you know what's funny? In Obama's term, they literally invented a whole dictionary of political correctness terms. I mean, really, if you think about it, everything you talked about or said had to be politically correct. You couldn't call somebody short anymore. You have to call them what?
Vertically challenged.
Vertically
Yeah.
challenged. I mean,
Omar's visually challenged.
yeah.
Thank God
So-
that's over, man.
But you know what, Helen?
And if you're fat, you're horizontally challenged.
Is it?
Isn't
Probably
that? Wouldn't
that.
it be? Yeah. So if you're fat,
It's
you
the
can't
box
call,
challenge.
you
Helen,
can't call somebody fat anymore.
Hey, guys.
you know, someone comes
Mark
home.
has
I want to
fans.
touch back. I want to touch on that topic we just talked about.
I got
because
peeps.
We actually got to
Wait,
close the
let
show.
Justin finish,
Hold on,
and
hold
then
on,
we'll
man.
be
There's
done.
no time limits. Facebook.
Come
dog.
on.
Okay,
Okay.
so-
Hold up a minute.
So I go to work. I had a crazy day at work. My boss is yelling at me. I come home. I'm a Democrat, and I'm just pissed. So I go to Facebook and I start cussing out Donald Trump and the fans of Donald Trump, and I just hate everyone to blow off my steam. I feel better at the end of the day.
Right.
I mean,
Justin,
that's
this is
how
happening
many
at 7
pers-
in the morning.
How
They
many?
don't
Or
work
I had
at
a
7 in
bad
the
night.
morning.
I had bad
Unless you're a
dreams.
gas station attendant.
How many
Bad dreams.
percentage
Blame it
of
on
people
Trump.
that are Democrats, I wonder, are actually just Democrats to be a part of this group of being a Democrat?
100% right, Jay.
How many people?
100%.
Is it like
sure it's a lot.
50%, 30%?
It's like a club, little club.
It's
Like
like a
you
club.
said, they want to belong
Yeah.
to something.
Well,
It's
I also
really-
think
I
that
don't-
people just don't understand what
And
they're.
Some people are
different-
Democrats,
Right.
so based on what they believe and what they
I just wanna
read
know if
and what
these-
they see,
if
but a
these
lot of these people
deportations
aren't
didn't happen,
educated.
what would they say?
Are wanting to choose
What do you mean?
to be informed on what Democrats are.
Well, actually, the weird part to me is the people that are very educated are the ones that are like very, very liberal, which I don't understand how that equation works.
It comes from, I mean, well, the universities are pretty much
Yeah.
have all liberalized. The professors don't want that.
The
That's where it's-
propaganda. Oh my God.
That's where it's all coming from. Really.
You know what's funny? That back in the '60s, it was the liberals were F the man. Don't listen to government. Don't. When Obama was in office, the liberals were do everything he says or you're racist.
Yep.
Follow the law. Take higher taxes. It's like I kind of miss the old liberals.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. Liberalism is the new form.
Globalism.
No, the new form of communism.
Globalism.
It's not even.
That's what they're really looking out to do. No borders. Everyone's the same. Man, woman, it, X, whatever you want to call yourself.
Well, it's not even that.
Yeah.
It's not. No, but they want. They want government control. They want
Yeah.
the
Well, that's what
government.
want
globalism-
Right,
one
so-
world
right.
government.
Right.
NWO. It's listen. It's
Okay,
all
I don't know about.
globalism.
Yeah, I'm not down
NWA.
with.
NWA.
Yeah, I'm not down with
NWO.
all
NWO,
that.
same.
Whatever, New World Order.
gosh.
You know, Illuminati.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey,
We'll save
you
that
know.
stuff for Alex Jones. Jones
No,
episode.
let's not.
But anyway, no. That's,
Illuminati. That should be the next topic.
Oh gosh.
Actually, in 2 weeks we have a very interesting show coming up. Just to plug it real quick, we're going to be talking about gay Chaldeans.
Gay Chaldeans.
Yeah, and we have.
I wonder if they're
I,
conservative.
I wonder if no. I'd
We're
like to
actually
know.
going to have a guest on who has a gay son, and I believe his son got married actually about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be on with us. He'll be calling in 2 weeks, so that should be an interesting topic to talk about.
Well,
What are we going to talk about Hendrix, man? All this serious stuff.
Hendrix is
I've
not
been
thought
I just
listening-
want to have
Mark,
a day
I
we
have
talk
been
about Jimi
listening
Hendrix.
to-
Expose some Chaldeans to Jimmy, man.
What?
Hendrix is not thought provoking.
Yeah, so
wanna wrap it up?
anyway,
Hendrix is not thoughtful.
You wanna wrap it
Hendrix
up?
is the man,
Of course he
dog.
is. Yeah, come on.
We got to wrap up the show, guys. It's been fun. It's been real.
See you guys.
bye bye.
Poshakal. Don't make no mashakal.
Stephanie,
Please.
Helen, Mark, Justin, Steve.
God bless
Thanks
you.
everybody for being
Pushu
here. Thanks for all you guys
Bashlama.
for tuning in and listening. We'll catch you in 2 weeks.
And God bless them.
God bless America.